Hi, it's McCare with More Prana Gardens. I'm in North Texas in Zone 8A, and today I'm going to be starting some seeds and some soil blocks, so I thought I'd take you along and show you how that's done. I'm going to be using the normal method, and I pre-started some for y'all, and they go into a mesh tray, and they sit in another tray, like a nursery tray. I use the one without holes because this is going to go into my room under some grow lights and I don't want it to drip on my floor. They do make ones with holes in them so that you can take it out, but once I bottom water this, if it doesn't soak it all up, I can just bring it out here and remove it, let it drip a little bit, and put it back in and it'll be fine. So let's start with how to make soil blocks. You're going to need one piece of equipment. This is a soil blocker. Mine makes, I think it's 2-inch cubes. And then they have these little divots in them. These are round. So soil blockers come in different sizes. And you can get little cubes to go in here. And there are soil blocks that are that big. And then if you use this one, the little divot that it makes, you can set the tiny one inside of it. And then there's a big 4-inch block that you can get a divot this size, so you can set this block down inside of a 4 one, and it's like a 4-inch one, and it's a way of potting up without using a pot. I just use the rounded divots because I'm not doing that. And it makes a nice little planting hole. They're about a 1/4 inch deep, so for seeds that need a 1/4 inch, that's your deal. They also make these bigger with a handle, so it has more of them in a thing, and you can do that standing up. This is what I could afford, so this is what I have, and it's not bad. So you use either seed starting mix or a potting soil. I use a potting soil because I leave them in there a little bit longer. Your seed itself has enough energy to make its baby leaves and then a set of true leaves, and after that it's done with nutrition and you have to give it some. So this is a potting mix, and I would say I did 6 parts potting mix, 4 parts cocoa coir, and 2 parts vermicompost, and that breaks down to a simpler ratio, but that's how I grabbed handfuls, so that's what we're going with. The cocoa coir is going to help it hold some moisture, and then the vermicompost is going to be additional nutrition. And I just lost my train of thought. Oh, when I did these blocks for you ahead of time, I did find another worm in there, and all I did was drop him on a block and he burrowed down. Or she, or they, I suppose it's a they. They burrowed down and they live in there now. So I have my soil, I know you can't quite see this, but it's stacked up taller than this is deep, so taller than 2 inches. And then I'm just going to press this down in there and wiggle it. And then I'm going to scoop more under it, wiggle it again, and do that a couple of times. And then you can see it kind of like bulges. So I'm going to go back over there to do this. You don't have to do this. I brush it off so that my tops are even in my tray. And then to get it out of here, it's a spring. And you want to go quick. Oh, and I brush off this side that's going to kiss the soil that's already down there. Like that. And then try to go quick. Sometimes they don't. And then it just puts these little blocks right down in here. And I'm going to scooch them over. My tray fits 10 across and 5 this way, but my blocker's only made for 4. So I can squeeze another one back here if I want to, but I usually don't, and I'm not going to today. And I hope I put enough soil in here to finish this up. So they're a little work. It takes some effort to press down. And if you have some physical limitations, the stand-up one might be worth the investment. Just so that, you know, it's just an easier workload that way. And especially if you're short like me. So I'm 5'4", and on most counters and tables, my hip bones are below the counter height. So I have to lean over a lot. And that puts more strain on my back than a tall person might experience. So if that's, you know, something that you deal with, you might think about that too. All right, and I'm gonna scooch them over because I have to fit one more row in there. And if you see me tossing things this way, my compost bin is right there. So if I have any sticks or rocks that are... Sorry. Some sort of stinging looking insect just flew to my hair. If you see me throwing sticks and rocks over my shoulder, they're going in the compost bin. Alright, so this is the last one for this. Now if you don't want to get these trays, you can build yourself a little frame with a plank of wood on the bottom and then 3 sides, and that gives you an open side to pull them from. Or, this is a microgreens tray, just a little 5x5. You can also use a food storage container, or right now in my room I have seeds growing in a vegan cheesecake tray that I punched holes in. You can do whatever you want. And using a soil blocker is going to save you from using, like, you know, a lot of plastic pots to pot up and all that. But now let's see if these will hold together for me. So I can pop them out like that, and then very carefully take them over here, put them into this tray, and now I've got a little tiny 4x4 of those, or 2x2, sorry. All right. Oh, let me tell you about your moisture content in here. So you want the soil to be able to hold together. She's very proud of that egg. You want the soil to hold together, and when you squeeze it, you should get some water dropping out of it. So they say 1 drop. I find that to be a little dry and they fall apart and I have to water them again sooner. So I let it be a little drippy. If it's soupy, she's very, very proud. If it's soupy, it will fall apart. So we don't want to take it that far. Now, before I get my seeds planted, I'm going to rinse my soil blocker. I can turn my hose on. Because this is a piece of equipment that I need to last me for a long time. Alright. Oh, while it's down here, I did throw some mycorrhizal fungi into my soil mix. Goodness, girl! So this helps with the root systems. It creates a fungus network. And so every one of these, when I plant it out, is going to have that in there. Sorry. All right. So, how to arrange. If you look on your soil, on your seed packets, they'll tell you how long they are. Some of them will say sprouts in. Some will say days to germinate. So I put my quicker ones on the outsides and my slower ones in the middle, because I'll take these off first. And you can see on this tray, I accidentally did it backwards. And look, while we're here, I can show you a benefit of these. So you see no roots on the outside. That's because they air prune. And I can pull that one away and show you how the roots grow right up to the edge. And I'll put that little block back. I'm going to be planting these nasturtiums out later. And the calendula and the beets, I want them to get more leaves, and the dill I'm probably going to wait as well. When you water these and bottom water them, you can actually see the water in the soil level. So I can see, this is watered last night, but if it's dry, I can tell how far down. So it's really easy to get the water right in these. Less likely to drown or starve your plants that way. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do the little tray first because I just got new nasturtiums. This is one of my favorite things to grow. It does not like the North Texas heat, so it's like spring and fall. These can be helped by soaking the seeds first, but we're just gonna go for it. So all I'm gonna do, let me take this over here, maybe I can show you up close on this one. As I told you, that's about 1/4 of an inch in that little divot. So I'm gonna take my little seed and I'm gonna push him down in there. Bam, that's all. See, he's in that little hole. Let's see, focus. All right, seed in the hole. And then I can just push the soil over him like that. But what I'm gonna do on this tray, to show you another way, is I've got some cocoa corn. And I'm just gonna spread that on top. And that's done now. So they take a little effort to make the soil blocks, but once they're made, they're a piece of cake. And then instead of using plant markers today, I'm just going to, this is painter's tape and I wrote the date on it. Pop that right on there. And now this tray is all ready to go in my room. It's not going to go under light at first until they sprout, and then I'll put it under light. Alrighty. We're going to do some more dill. You saw some in that tray, but we go through it. And parasitic wasps love dill. And parasitic wasps help get rid of other caterpillars that eat our plants and stuff like that. So, and I'm not going to be marking my individual seeds today. Sometimes I do. Right now I'm just not worried about it. And I think I'm going to put 2 dill in each hole. Alright. There we go. And then I'm going to turn my packet backwards just in case I get my stacks mixed up somehow. It happens. And then I'm just going to push the soil over those. Alright. Moving on. This is strawberry blonde calendula. I already have 4 rows of calendula started over there. I have, 2 rows. I have 4 rows of calendula started inside, and I'm about to start 2 more. There's another one on the back. This is medicine. If you have eczema or, whew, that was a lot, or any type of skin condition that gets irritated, you can make a calendula salve, and it helps heal it. Like, I spent a year trying to get rid of eczema on my hands and got nowhere. Used calendula salve for like a month and it was cleared up. It was amazing. So you grow the flowers, and then you dry the flowers, and then you soak them in oil for at least a month, and then you strain out the flowers, and then you add wax into the oil, and then you let that dry. That's your salve. I have some. I'm not going to be shipping it out till winter, but I do have some available. It is amazing. So I am going to grow tons and tons of calendula this year. All right. Now, I told you that the soil blocks are going to air prune. So another benefit of them is that you can grow cilantro. You can start cilantro indoors. Let's see if I can get that to focus over there again for you. There we go. Alrighty. So I know you're not supposed to be able to transplant cilantro, but you can, and we're going to. So I'm going to put 2 seeds in each hole, And I know you can't tell because they're closed, but cilantro are compound seeds. So each of these seeds is going to contain more than one plant. Well, possibly. It might just be one. And then like cilantro, parsley, which is also in this stack, some things like that generally don't like to be transplanted, and that's because their roots are really sensitive. But with this we can, because like I showed you, you just pick up the whole block, make a hole, put it in, the end. Well, scoop some soil around it, of course. All right, moving on. So the next three are going to be Salvia. And we like these for pollinators. They smell nice. And we want them all over. So, ooh, exciting. I haven't opened this pack yet. So we're going to start some of them. And these will not be going into the ground this year. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to grow these inside until, let's see when they like to be planted out. Whenever you get seeds, if you read the back, they give you a lot of information. Well, most of them do, some of them don't, and then you just go online and look it up. So start indoors 4 to 6 weeks before last frost. So that means that normally I would plant them out after last frost, so in the spring. So I'm just going to let these get big indoors first. And I'm going for 2 in each hole, but I think I poured out too many, so it might be, yep. We'll put some back. Get in there. Go, go, thanks. Okay. Cleopatra mix. I tried to start this one last year and didn't have phenomenal luck. And then a rabbit found them. So we're going to do this again. Okay. Drop them in the hole. And your seed planting depth is typically twice as deep as your seed is wide. So these seeds are small. I mean, it doesn't, there you go, maybe it'll focus. So they're not going to go very deep. Over those guys. And the next one. And this is one that my house friend picked out. I think they're really pretty. There's a glare and it's hard for me to see if y'all are in focus or not. Sorry if I'm giving you some stuff that's not quite there. Love opening a new seed packet. These are a little smaller. So I'm just filling in a little bit of that divot. And I'm going to try the sprinkle method. Now this went really bad on me the other day and I ended up with like 20 broccoli seeds in one hole. It was kind of tragic and also hilarious. All right. And the ones that I'm putting in the middle here, like these are 10 to 30 days to germination. So this is going to be a while sitting on my grow rack doing nothing. And that's okay. Parsley is another that has sensitive roots, doesn't really like to transplant, but see, it even says direct seed outdoors. But we're going to ignore that because we're doing this in a soil block and it's going to air prune. It's going to be just fine. I think I'm going to put 2 in each hole, and I'm going to try the sprinkle method again. Maybe it won't backfire on me this time either. And by the way, these seeds have been in the fridge. Your parsley likes to be cool before it tries to grow. So this packet lives in the fridge. Over them all up. Alrighty, we're getting down. We only have 3 rows to go. We're going to do some celery. This is pink celery. It's really pretty. It's, when it grows, it's, it says pink. It's kind of a pinky purple. Look who showed up. Hi, what you doing? You want to grow some celery? Thank you. I'm going to put you down because you're in the way, okay? I know. Yes, you're a beautiful kitty. All right, come on. Thank you, baby. Okay, celery. Oh my goodness, girl. I know. What would life be without animals, right? Scooch, scooch. There we go. We'll just compromise. That is not a litter box anymore, Bubbo. Okay, thank you for sitting your little fluffy bum down. Alright, so these are super tiny. Oh, I need to fill in my divot. Look at, she's got me distracted. Alright, these are super tiny, so they want a surface sow. So I covered that up. And I'm going to put a couple in each space. And y'all, this soil is super moist, and my hair is not picking it up. If you're worried about that, it's okay. There we go. And then I'm just going to press those down and let that be enough cover for them. All right, we're back to calendula. This is resina, or resina. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Maybe you do. You can tell me in the comments, or I can just like ask Google how to pronounce it. Would probably be the efficient thing to do. So this is, my goodness. This is the one that has the most medicine in it. They're all medicinal, but this is the one. This is the one that really, really cranks it out. And another thing that I do with my calendula, I have a batch making right now. It's the last of my flowers before the new ones grow. Is when you do that initial month or so soak in oil, you could use that for a body oil. So mine's soaking in sesame right now. And I'm giving it 2 months. And when that time is up, that's just going to be like when I get out of the shower, what I put on my skin instead of lotion. I use sesame oil right now, but then it'll be calendula infused, so it'll help strengthen my skin and heal and all that good stuff. And pansies. Get us some winter color. And I probably should just start a whole tray of these. That'd be fun, but not today. I'm just going to throw a couple in each hole, not being too precise with these guys. There we go. That's that. And this tray's all done. And I know you absolutely cannot tell because it's all filled in. And I'm going to take my little painter's tape and I'm going to pop it onto the end of my tray. Are you going to help me? Thank you. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, come here you. Alright, I guess we're gonna go because somebody needs attention more than anything else. Yeah? Yeah, is that what you need? So, oh, well, I would like you to admire my shirt. I got it from Eric Sider, Seider. He's on Facebook. Thank you, baby girl. If you go to his channel, then you can find a link to his shirts. And I already got it dirty, of course. This is the Nitrogen Fixer shirt. He has a whole bunch of permaculture shirts. They're super awesome. And as far as this channel, thank you for joining me today. If you would please pick a thumb, hit the subscribe bar, and if you want to know when I put up new videos, ring the bell. And Bobo and I will see you later. Oh my goodness, you got me. Oh. And you know who you are. Thank you for this mug. I love it.